So let's talk about how to fetch data from defined GenAI Chatbot Data Sources. And what I was discussing in the fourth video, defining the data sources, and why I decided to create a Python script to pull this data, as there should be a service that can do this for me in GCP. So let's do this. So let's go to Vertex AI Agent Builder, and I'm doing it for the very first time. So be seeing it the same way I'll be seeing it. So yeah, it wants me to activate the API first. I'll even help Google out and improve the quality in the service. And I'm gonna click on. I think I clicked on continue. Let's see, accept. Let's give it a moment for this to finish. And we are successfully onboarded to Vertex AI Agent Builder. So normally, you would immediately go and create your app, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it the other way around. So I'm going to go to data stores, and I will create on data store. And here we will be presented with numerous data sources, and for example, website content, BigQuery, cloud storage, Cloud SQL. There are even some sources that are not listed here that I know about, which are like Confluence. And hypothetically speaking, I could get all of my contents using the website content data store. However, this will only work if the websites you'll be using are owned by you. So the only thing I could do here is fetch blog posts from fullcontrol.org. And I couldn't fetch content that I needed from Reddit, GitHub, YouTube. Even if they are my profiles or channels, and as such could be categorized as my content. So if you want to use this source, you'll also need to use advanced website indexing. Otherwise, you won't be able to connect the chatbot app to your data source. So I can show what this looks like. And now I'm going to switch to my project. And so, for example, here in available data sources, I can click on add existing data source. And there are three data sources are currently unavailable for this app. I'm going to click Y, and it's going to say for fullcontrol.org, auto-cpufreq blog post, because I wanted to do this and show how this could be done using website content as well. Even if it's like for a few blog posts that I have. I'm going to get a reason. Vertex AI Conversation app requires data store with advanced website indexing. So, which means that even if you go for this option, and even if you add your URLs that you want to use, you will not be able to use it unless you have this feature enabled. And this is going to incur additional costs and everything. So I think it would be better, like my feedback for if anyone from Google is watching, if this source could be just used for a small number of websites, and then you could you don't need to immediately pay because, for example, in my case, it was a lot easier because I only have a few blog posts to simply right click and then right click and go to the view page source, and then right click and save the page as HTML. Because if you enable it for a small number of websites to be used for free, although nothing is free, you could use it, and otherwise people are missing a lot on its benefits. Like, for example, which I'm doing instead of going to create my own way to fetch data sources from their websites. Regardless, which means that I will not also be able to use the website content. So what I have did instead is I created auto-cpufreq GenAI Chatbot GitHub repo. And here you can see scripts, data pool scripts, which are also explained on the architecture diagram. So yeah, I'm talking about this part. So what I'll do with this repo is that there are scripts which can fetch content from Reddit, YouTube, GitHub, all of these different resources. But while using the API keys, as I didn't want to just scrape the data from all of these services and then potentially get banned. So doing what I would be doing if I was literally creating an app for one of these services. So I explained that here, like how you can create your API keys needed to fetch the data from these services, and yeah, and then how you copy those secrets to your terminal configuration file, and then how to. I'm basically instructing you how to run those scripts. Since all of the dependencies for all of them are stored in a single pip file, you can just do the pip and install once, and then you can run on any of these scripts. So, for example, I don't know, we can run this one, and I'm gonna switch to my VS Code in this case. So this is what the script looks like. Again, I'm using my API keys, and this is the repo name that I will be using. So if you wanted to adjust this to your own repo, you would just change this. All of the data will be going into the data and GitHub issues HTML. And yeah, I mean, I can show what this looks like. So if we go to pip and I just run it, so what it's gonna do now is it's gonna so what I did before for the few web blog posts that I had, I could literally just right click, save as HTML, and problem solved. But in this case, I'm fetching 728 issues. There is no way that I'm just gonna go and click, yeah, there, right click and fetch 728 issues. This is only for issues. I'm not like there's also discussions, there's also releases, numerous other sources. So that's why I built these scripts, which will now go through all those issues, fetch the issue itself, get all of the contents or the comments of that issue, and then save it as a HTML file. And another thing which I would advise you to do in this process is keep everything in Git, as it's going to take a while for this to finish. So maybe I'll just show what I'm going to be sharing as part of the Google Dev Cloud talk. So this is literally a screenshot what it looks like when it's finished, and we can see like what are the files that had new content. So this way I can only commit files that are new or have new content, new comments were maybe added to them, and then instead of pushing and commenting and pushing a bunch of other files each time, and it's easier to keep everything under version control this way. See what really changed. So yeah, to summarize, getting this data was one of the things I spent most of my time doing while building this chatbot. And getting this data, the data wrangling and making sure the files had the structure I wanted was I spent most of my time doing this. So it would be great if Google Cloud had an option to do exactly what I did here as part of the data fetching scripts. Even have an idea how this could potentially work out. But until then, you'll have to do this part manually. So yeah, I hope this part was useful because it really explains a very complicated topic, and yeah, it also explains how data is important in this process. Because without data, you won't have a chatbot or anything else. Either way, this concludes this video, and I'll see you in the next one.